Scientology is here. Religious group meetups are canceled. Jehovah's Witnesses haven't knocked on my door in ages. And what the hell is a rap war anyway?
I know what you're thinking. What does that got to do with anything? We're going to find out a little later on the show.
First of all, ain't nobody talking while I'm talking, so shut the f*** up.
Yo. It's the Shut Up and Color podcast. Always informed, never influenced. I'm your host, Ashton Alexander.
And I'm your boy, Micah Jaye.
Micah Jaye. Boss, what's going on?
All is well, man. How you feeling today?
I feel amazing. I feel exuberant.
I feel good. Oh.
No, that's not. Yeah. Who sang that song?
I don't know.
Oh, I would say let them sing it.
Shit.
Damn, shots fired across the bow.
Oh, shit.
I'm starting early today.
He started early.
All right. Episode 6. It is April 28th. Thanks for rocking with us so long. More to come. But before we do anything, before the day gets started, before you continue to listen, we got to get into Micah Jaye's infamous word of the day.
Garnish.
You know it.
Hold on. The word of the day is
garnish.
Garnish.
Everybody, Micah Jaye picks these words of the day.
Listen, if you ain't never used the word garnish in your day-to-day life, you not living, okay?
Okay.
Listen, garnish is defined as something, not something, it's actually like a verb, but it's to decorate or embellish something, especially food.
Garnish.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you know right now. I can't stand garnishes. That might be, as someone who loves to cook, and I find it to be a comfort place in my heart of hearts. But I hate garnishes. I think garnishes are if I can't eat it, don't put it on my plate. I don't want. What is this for? Why is this cabbage cut up in such a way for me to look at? I can't eat it. That shit looks stupid.
What?
Why you sprinkling shit on my food don't have no flavor? I just sprinkle some parsley over top. Okay.
I love parsley.
Hence the reason why I said why you sprinkling parsley over top. Nah, man. I mean, somebody else who hates garnishes and a well-respected individual in the market is Gordon Ramsay.
I knew it.
That nigga hates garnishes, boy.
So I'm under the impression that I used to think that Gordon Ramsay hated everything, but then I realized this man is so nice.
Nah, he is, bro.
Have you ever heard him talk to kids?
Have you seen his show with kids though? His little food show? I'd be like, come on, Gordon. Now you know that's some trash. If you don't tell Elizabeth that shit is trash over there, all right, guys, all you really got to do, all you really got to do is just, work a little harder next time. I'm like, no, Gordon. If that was a grown ass person, like, this is some shit.
Yeah.
Nah, and he's got a kid now. He's got a little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks just like him. That shit is creepy.
Yeah.
Bringing more Gordons into the world.
He's a nice man.
All right. So let me hit that again for you.
Garnish.
So let's talk about this in the past today.
Let's take it back.
What's going on? What's going on in the past today? April 28th. What's going on?
April 28th, 1916, right? Feduccia.
We discussed this.
Feduccio. No, it's Feduccio Lamborghini. I know you may be familiar with the name Lamborghini, but yes, you're correct. Feduccio Lamborghini was born on what's today? April 28th.
Yeah.
In 1916, and he's the founder of Lamborghini.
Mm-hmm.
He started off from humble beginnings, creating tractors, and then he moved on to
what? Hold on.
What?
Why are tractors humble beginnings? Do you know Caterpillar is a stock that is trading like astronomically right now? Like, they make tractors. They billionaires. That's not humble.
Okay. Well, he started off as a successful businessman in a different sector.
All right, now as a country boy, I had to step in there for a second. John Deere ain't no goddamn humble's beginnings.
Okay, you got it. But yeah, and then he moved on to air conditionings, and he started other streams of revenue.
Okay.
Then as he started to get wealthy, he decided to buy a motorsport.
Okay, as he should.
You know, he bought a Ferrari. He started to have experienced a lot of different problems with his Ferrari, and then voila,
That's why I didn't buy no Ferrari, because I didn't want them problems.
he decided to start Lamborghini
Mercy.
Yo, chick, she's so thirsty. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Thought you was about to go.
Nah, that's all I got for
Come
you.
on, follow that cult leader Kanye.
Zim zim.
All right. What else? What we got?
Next, we got 1967.
Mm-hmm.
Sting like a butterfly. Oh, wait.
Float like a butterfly.
Float
Sting
like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Okay.
You already know they call me Muhammad Ali. What? That's.
Where's that at? Did you write that down?
I just came up with that off the dome.
That shit was. It was decent.
But yeah, in the past, Muhammad Ali was put in prison for refusing to go into the army.
Join that white man's war.
Yeah, he was like not having it.
Damn.
And
the nigga got locked up.
Won't let me out.
They won't let me out. I stay
Locked up.
They won't let me out. No.
And they took my title belts.
Damn, cold blooded.
Yeah, they took his title belts, his Olympic awards.
They didn't take his work ethic though.
It's in the heart.
Damn, I wish it was just that easy.
But yeah, he was like, I'm not having it. You know, I do this for the Nation of Islam. And then in 1973, in the past day, you know, The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd was recorded in Abbey Road Studios. You know, it goes to #1 on the U.S. Billboard charts, beginning a record-breaking 741-week chart run. You know, which is cool about that because they released their album on March 1st, right, of 1973, but they recorded on April 28th, right? So they actually like came up with the album while they were like doing live performances.
Oh, okay.
And then they had two separate like
yeah. So it's a live release recording.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Unique.
That's pretty cool.
So that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Then 2003.
What's up?
Right? Apple opens its virtual doors.
Bring it home
to its iTunes store for the first time.
Oh, where you can deposit your money through the interwebs.
Interwebs, boy. You no longer have to mosey down to the record store and buy $18 CD. You can now buy the song of your liking for 99 cents.
Man, I feel like that was like a thing though. I used to love that whole little CD walkthrough. Like your mom's in the store shopping, you like, I'm gonna go over here and check out CDs, and they had them little dirty ass headphones, which today's like would never make it. Like, I'm not putting them headphones on my head, Corona, but I put them shits on in a minute. Be pressing all the little buttons. Like, what they got to play up here? Let me see.
Yeah.
What songs they got on the track?
Little red buttons.
Yeah, let me see what they got. But yeah, speaking of the infamous Steve Jobs himself, a prominent cult leader. We can discuss that a little bit later. But since we brought up cults, let's start in the past. Cults.
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 Cults?
Cults. Cults.
Cults.
Cults.
Cults.
Cults.
All right.
Cults.
Cults.
Yeah. That word.
Yeah, man. Listen, cults. Apple. No. I think it's amazing to think like 2003, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's 2020. Like Apple is fairly new. Like, like it's been around, but like the Apple that we know of,
the floppy disk and Macintosh, that's gone.
That's gone. But like
we here with Apple
iPhones and EarPods and iPhone X's, like
and X10s and RGs and TR, but like X4 with all that shit.
I remember being like, I remember when like more people was starting to get iPhones in like school, and then I was like scared to start bringing out my phone when I was talking to girls because they were like, "Oh, you don't got an iPhone?" Like,
I got a flip phone.
I got that Motorola Razr.
Damn, no, I had a Nokia, the one that lit up on the sides.
Okay.
You can't tell me nothing. But then my homeboy had a damn 2-way, and I don't care what nobody says. The 2-way will forever be the phone of choice in the past. Like if I had to go back in time and I had to pick a phone, I'm picking the damn 2-way. That shit looks so cool. He just press a little button and it flip around like a little keypad. But then, I mean, the iPhones were cool and shit, but that 2-way just made you look like you was a damn nigga, boy.
But yeah, but now it's this whole Apple definitely is a cult, boy.
No, it's a cult. It's a cult that you may or may not know that you are a part of. Like if you know you're a part of, then cool. You know, do your due diligence. But if you don't know, like you're like, I don't know what to tell you.
But speaking of that though, like speaking of just that type of power and influence,
yeah.
I want to get into like my media digest that I've been,
what's up?
watching. Or
well,
actually, let me hear your media digest first, and then I'll tell you about mine.
Okay. So, damn, what was it? Oh, so I've been watching what do you call those things? Like these international slapping competitions.
What the hell?
Where niggas like sit on like a side of tables on both sides of the table, and they look at each other and they slap each other in the face as hard as they can.
And this is what? This a YouTube thing?
Yeah, you can YouTube it.
It's
Instagram it. It's a sport now in Russia. It's huge in Russia.
Knew it.
Like these damn Russians are terrifying. I don't fuck with Russian people. Like if you like, well, I love Russian people, but I'm not fucking with you in the sense of like, let's start a fight, because these niggas obviously feel no pain. Like these slaps, like they got 5 rounds of slapping each other in the face as hard as they can, and that shit is, I mean,
So
thunderous slaps. It sounds as if Jiren himself has slapped Goku across the face, as if Mario had hit the stone to get the mushroom out. Like thunderous snaps.
that's a thunderous.
Like it is ridiculous. Every time I watch it and they put it in slow motion, I'm like, oh my god.
So is it like a point system? So it's like, if we used to do it right now, I slap you.
I would fight you.
No?
Okay, no. So if we would set them across the table, I would slap you, right? And I can't hit your ear or anything. I can only hit your cheek, right? So I hit you, then you hit me. But if you miss, then you don't get. It's not necessarily a point system. It's a connection system. Like, did you connect? Then all right, you get 1 point, I guess. It's not like how hard you hit them. It's if you connect. So if I connect 5 times and I just tap your face and you hit me as hard as you can 5 times, it's still a draw.
So it could potentially be a game of like endurance and like eye-hand coordination.
It's definitely both of those. It's definitely not. I mean, I feel like people watch it. Like I watched it initially and I was like, oh, this is all about how if I can knock somebody out. But it's really like a test of like, can you take these damn hits? Like the endurance portion you're talking about. Like, can I take this smack across the face 5 times by this 350-pound behemoth with the hands the size of a damn tennis racket? Like,
hell no. I can only imagine the type of damage. Like the face is such a fragile.
No, that shit is
brutal.
Oh my god. I think punching in the face is not as bad. I think punching in the face is straightforward. Like, boom, a jab to the face is like, oh, you got him. But these slaps are so like, you don't throw a punch from your shoelaces. These niggas is throwing slaps. These niggas is throwing slaps from ant mounds. Like I'm talking like
Just
they high-fiving ants on the way up. Pop, come on, boom. Like what the hell? Like you gotta watch it, man. Anybody, everybody, just take it some time. Enjoy this media digest. I saved you. Go type it on YouTube. Like slap contest and type in Russian somewhere in there, and you will not be disappointed. But that's mine. What are you watching?
For me, I came across a new little anime recommended from a friend. Not disappointed whatsoever. It's called Code Geass.
Code Geass
Has a interesting concept. Reminds me of Death Note kind of.
All right.
In the sense of like its intricacy of like overthinking and being like super strategic. But basically this show is about like a guy who has like he wants to overthrow the government or whatever, but he has developed this power to like make people do whatever he wants. But like it's a contract, a bond that he's like signed to have this power. And so it's a few like few clauses that he has to like follow in between. So like he has to look you like face to face, like eye to eye for it to work. And so he like wears a mask and he's like becomes like a vigilante and all this extra stuff. But that had me thinking.
But
What would I like? What would I do if I had this specific power? Like, what would I do? What would you do if you had the power that? Oh, yeah, to make people do whatever you said, but it can only work on them once though.
so if I said, Micah, give me $100, you give me $100, but after that I said, give me $100 again, you wouldn't. It'd be
Exactly.
null and void. Oh, okay. I would try to take over the world.
Like how so? So
I would try. How's sway? Everything said sway. Yeah, bro. What do you mean? How? I don't see myself being no like righteous leader to try and figure out how I can help other people. I'm trying to figure out how I can get as much as I can from everybody. I want it all.
what's the first thing you're doing?
I'm a write out me a nice, convenient way to rob a bank, because I feel like robbing a bank is on my damn bucket list of things to do if I had superpowers. I got a regular bucket list and I got a superpower bucket list. My superpower bucket list involves robbing banks. Okay, so I would talk to everybody who worked there individually somehow throughout the course of a month,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be like, "You only do what I say," and that'd be it. And I'd be like, boom. And then I'd make sure I talk to everybody, got my little list. I check everybody's name off. And once I walk up in there, I'm like, everybody freeze. Bank teller, take all the money out. Cameraman, cut these cameras. Open the vault.
The cameraman is casually just in the front of the bank, just chilling.
He hears me. He sees me. He'll know.
He'll know.
Open the vault. Take everything out. Dump it in these bags. Driver, take me to the airport. I'm talking to everybody along the way. Take me to Cuba.
Oh, you didn't talk to
Everybody.
thousands of people.
Everybody listens to me. Everybody.
You sound like a cult leader, boy.
You're damn right.
Hey,
No, hold on. You're wrong. I'm not a cult leader. I am a maleficent leader that I care about my people.
Oh, sugar now. Hey, I'm using that as a segue to get into the
What's up?
meat of
Okay, all right.
today's topic,
Oh yeah, so
boy.
Colts. I ain't no cult leader, but we're gonna talk about some Colts.
Since you're a cult leader, where did cults start from, huh? Like, where did they come from?
You know, the past.
The past.
The past. As Colts have been around since human beings could gather together. You know, they've been around.
Definitely, I think so. So the word cult comes from like the Latin word cultus, meaning like till or like to cultivate.
Right.
And so basically I'm under the impression that this word was kind of used like back in the paganistic days, where like people would make sacrifices to like the many gods,
right,
and ask for like a favor in return, like, oh, like the god of please bless our harvest.
Yeah,
for
our crops.
This week I've killed like my best lamb. What is it? Livestock.
Yeah.
And so like this was like the initial like use of the word
Those
cultist,
motherfuckers are crazy,
right?
Like batshit crazy.
What, pagan it?
Yeah, them motherfuckers are batshit crazy. Like, I mean,
Back in the day, or you talking about like now?
Now, back then, in the middle, in the future, batshit crazy. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I get it, but I don't get it.
Nah, it would make sense to you if that's like what the culture you lived in.
I lived in that culture. I don't get it.
Of what?
Of cults.
I mean, I get you do live in a. I think you live in a culture.
Well, I live in the deep South, Southern Baptist. If that ain't a cult, I don't know what is. Okay, but we're talking about the cults right now, the past, and we'll get there.
Of the past.
Of the past.
But if you was born in Rome, where every place you turn has like some type of deity statue, and that's like that was
no. Yeah, growing up, I mean, I guess you only know what you know, and you only know what you've been told. So,
Yeah.
if I'm a child and I grow up and I'm like, that statue is Boobaloo, and Boobaloo resides in the clouds, and when it rains he's sad, and when it's sunshine he's happy. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I know. So I mean, I get it.
And you talking about a realm of where like whole societies
I don't blame.
are built around.
Let me make some clarification. I do not blame the people in the past of their belief systems and how they got down, because they just didn't know. They didn't have the information that we have today. So back then, the thunder is the damn gods fighting. Like, okay.
I mean, I think people beliefs were just as strong as they are today. Like I remember reading
What?
and no, I remember reading when I was in high school. We translated like transcripts from Pompeii, right?
Okay.
Like Pompeii, the little city that like the
Burned.
volcano,
Yeah.
and like everybody started dying, and like there are like records of people being like, "What the fuck? This is a big ass ash cloud." And like people like stop like off top. They were like, "Nah." They like that's when shit started to fan. People like you see what like people's true belief systems. Like people like, "Nah, f this." Like, but then you had some people that's like, "Oh," like they were still praying that. But you had a lot of people who started abandoning that shit like super quick.
As
like
they should, and their people, their ancestors are alive today because of it. Okay,
they might all be wiped out, but
yeah, well,
in Pompeii. But I get it. I get what you're trying to get. But then even when I think about like pork, right, like pig, like that whole ideology of like people not eating like unclean meat, right, like. If you like do your history like back down, like go way back, there's like records of like pits, like old fire pits, and they found like pig like swaddled, like pig bones swaddled in like cloth. And so like back in the day, people would have to like were like told to like sacrifice like their firstborns for whatever reason. But people was like, I'm not with this shit, I'm not about to sacrifice my child. So they would take a little baby piglet and swaddle it.
a suckling pig.
A suckling pig, swaddle it, and then like throw that into the fire. And like when it burnt, the skeleton looked similar to like
a baby,
right? Because it had the little digits. So like that was like, and then once people started moving, like transitioning over to like Christianity and like monotheistic religions, they were like, we can't be associated with any of that paganistic shit. So they would be like, but that wasn't even associated with.
I feel like that's just like a diversion of like, all right, man, listen, they getting rid of babies, so let's like cut that shit out. Like, I don't want to do that shit. Like, we'll do all the good shit, you know what I'm saying? Let's get together, sing some songs, but like when you talk about like sacrificing some shit, let's not do that. Let's not.
So
everybody want to go to heaven, but don't
nobody want to die.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
but yeah, but from that though, like just the word cultus meaning like cultivate. It then slowly transitioned with culture. The connotation start to switch over to meaning like unorthodox religion. Like anything that's unorthodox that's from the mainstream is a cult.
Right.
So I think that's how I grew up, kind of knowing the word cult now too. Like
like when I first initially was even introduced to the idea of cults, it was always these like loonies, like, oh, they're crazy, tree hugging or hippie. You know what I'm saying? It was always like some group of people who were just like not a part of like the religious sect. They just had their one-off belief system, like, the star people or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
So that was like the idea that I had, like, oh, these guys are crazy. But then like as I grew and like, you start learning more and you start reading more and you start like, traveling the world and seeing stuff. You're like, hold on, man. Or like even with talking with you, about this earlier, you know what I'm saying? Or doing a little more research, like you start saying like, hold on. A lot of these things have similar, like if not the same exact like framework. We just gonna call it something different. Now, you'll say Scientology, and then I'll say Christianity, and then we'll be like, well, I mean, that's a cult, but this over here is
this is the truth.
This is the truth. I'm like,
right.
Well, that's what a cult leader would say.
No, that's true, man. Like they've been in Rome, they referred to Judaism as a cult. Like in the early days, different forms of Islam was considered cults. Like I'm most familiar with the word cult from my grandmother. My grandmother loved using that word. Like she'd be like, "Them Jehovah's Witnesses are a cult." As soon as they knock on the door, that's a cult. That's a demonic cult. Like. That's her favorite word to describe anybody.
Ain't they carrying the same book though?
No.
What book they got?
The Jehovah's Witnesses have the.
That's not that book. That's not the book that they dug up from the ground, is it? Oh, that's the Mormons. No, the Mormons.
That's definitely a cult.
What the? Come on, man.
Hey, listen. All right, look, we're gonna go from where cults came from to where they came.
Yeah,
Where they went. Where they went.
The travel of the coast, man.
Like, where were they? I mean, bro, like, Cults, bro. Like, so they have like characteristics of what makes a cult.
All right. Let's go through characteristics for the people. And once again, like, I'm not telling you how to think about this. I'm not trying to change your views or belief system. I'm saying just rock with us for a second.
I think yeah. So basically, a shorthand form is like you can characterize a cult from like 3 major characteristics.
Okay.
First, it needs a charismatic leader.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You need a Creflo Dollar or
who's Creflo
Dollar?
Yeah, who's that?
He's the guy up in New York. Well, I mean, up in New York, here in New York, who ran the mega church. Who was like making? He's like worth like over 100 million. Like ran a mega church. He changed his last name to Dollar.
Okay,
but he was like smooth ass talking dude. But yeah,
hey,
he has 3 churches. He has one in New York, one in North Carolina. No, 4. One in New York, one in North Carolina, one in Florida, and one in Texas. And he travels on his private jet from New York to North Carolina, does his speech and stuff, and then he goes to Florida and does his thing, and then he goes to Texas and does his thing. He does it every week.
Okay.
And mega churches in all 4 locations.
Well,
they're paying guaps.
Is he charismatic?
Of course.
Okay. Well, second, you need an indoctrination program.
Oh, well. Yeah, we got that. It's called
Bible study.
Yeah, no, it's called Has Anybody Not Been Saved Out There? Please step forward toward the altar.
Okay. Conversion. That sounds like a conversion program to me. Yes. If I ever experienced one myself, which I definitely have.
I mean, I've been a part of this. Okay, so I've walked down that aisle. So
I've walked down a few aisles, boy.
Yeah, I did it just because my grandma was like, "Boy, go on, get down there. You ain't gonna make me look bad." I'm like, "All right."
Peer pressure.
Yes. She got me.
So yeah, that's kind of, and then you have the third one, which is like exploitation. Exploitation, either money.
Oh, come on, man.
Bro, you know all the deacons got something to hide. That's like,
come on, man.
The 3 basic ones, right? So, and it's this ongoing joke of like cult plus time equals religion, and like religious studies. And so, when you think about that, bro, let's just like, I know that in the 1930s and 1940s, that's when like cult studies started booming. Right. Like they really got interested and intrigued in what was going on with cults, and they wanted to they started publishing more. Like scholars started publishing more academic studies. Right. But what are some of the cults that you are familiar with?
Like right now, or just in
in general?
What is it? Marshall Applewhite.
Okay.
He had the new wave. It wasn't like new wave, but it wasn't called like it was. They obviously didn't address it as a cult, but he believed in these, like he was like the son of these UFOs. He had been put down here on Earth to gather up individuals so he could take them back. But the only ones he could take back are the ones that were like the pure one believers that, you know, that they had become a part of this world or whatever. Like Earth was just a place to grow and learn from. And then they're going to take that information back to the UFO and then go back to their homeland, which he never told them what it was because he didn't know, because he said they hadn't told him yet. But it was just like a meetup time. So he gathered all these guys. It was like 36 people. It was like men and women. And some people dropped off, some people not. But at the end of everything said there was 36 of them. So he had got them all uniforms. They all looked the same. They had patches on their shoulder. And when it came time, they all went to they rented out a mansion in like the woods, and they all went to the mansion. They recorded their like stories for loved ones, like, "Hey guys, we're leaving. We just wanted to let you know we're going back to the home planet, and hopefully we'll see you soon when we come back to get you guys. But just like they were like, just don't say we didn't tell you so. You know, like we told you that this was real, and none of you guys wanted to listen. But we'll be back after the mothership lands and takes us back home, and they'll get all this information, and then they'll come back and get you guys after we tell them how good you guys are. We just needed some proof." So they went to this mansion in the woods, and this nigga told them that they all had to kill themselves. So they all got in bunk beds, put cover over their head, and drunk some juice.
What type of juice?
It was some poison. Poison. I didn't necessarily get what the poison was, but that seems to be like a ongoing thing in these cults, like this poison juice. But they drank some juice, laid in the bed. They all did the same exact thing. They had got some of these $10 Nike shoes. They laid in the bed, feet up, and they all died, like just in the same position.
Mass suicide.
That was it. That was 36 people dead. Boom, gone.
Bro, the first time I ever heard of like group suicides, I did not know that was a thing.
Right.
Like I thought suicide was like this. I mean, like I thought it was like this independent like thing that happens.
Right.
Because people like usually are dealing with their own personal like fights or like demons or whatever you want to call them. But when I heard like people was doing this, I thought like people were like gather happily, but I guess they are. And it's not because of like this sadness, I guess, but it's more so of this like conviction of belief.
Yeah. There's always seems to be some like you said, you know, like there's something that pulls everybody together. They can like stream their, you know, the popcorn on the string. Like they find some commonality amongst themselves. And then, but like when I look at the videos of these guys from Apple, what's his name again? Yeah, Marshall Applewhite. When I looked at the videos of like, they all like, I'm not trying to be like, you know, that guy, like these guys look weird, but they all had this look about them, like maybe like they were slightly outcast, or they were like, you know, not the average Joe. You know, they just looked. And then they start talking. You're like, oh yeah, I can see how you were in this cult. Like you don't seem to be the person that's going to like fight for yourself in this moment if you know it's wrong. Like you a person that's like, I'm in too deep and I can't turn back, but what can I do about it type people.
Hey, well, you know, part of the 7 ways of indoctrination of a cult is the first one is the transition. Like, so it's usually them finding people who are like having a transitioning point in their life or a crossroads where they are coming from like either a dark place or like they're fighting some controversial things in their life, or just like life is just not going well for them.
Right.
And that's usually like that first step where people are like, oh, we can help you. And like they then begin to give you which is that soft sell, right? Like that, oh, like we know the path to happiness. Like just come and meet with us, you know, next Wednesday, and we'll talk about, we'll answer some of your questions that you have.
Yeah. And
then they end up usually like opening up, giving you some type of testimony, and then you open up, and then like this conversation, and everybody's smiling, and you see like families running around. You're like, oh, this seems legit.
This is a nice place.
I feel happy.
Yeah.
People haven't given me this type of attention or accepted me in this way.
That's what it is. That acceptance part is huge.
Bro.
Like that's where I feel like most cults get everybody, like this acceptance, like this is who I want to be. And then somebody accepts you for that. Like, oh, it's okay.
Bro, we habitable creatures. Like we are like herd creatures. Like we are made
social beings.
Yeah, social beings. Like we made to like live within a herd.
Yeah.
And like live in like the world we live in, the society we live in has changed that, but like we are who we are.
But that's why you have also like so much like depression now, you know. People are being like taken away from that, and they don't realize why they feel like disconnected when they know like deep down like it's not even like not deep down, it's like in your brain, it's just your nature of the species is probably like safer, more comfortable, more in tune when they are around other individuals who they can trust and feel comfortable around. They probably feel better. But when they don't have that, they become, you know, dark.
Yeah, like your homeostasis is like, oh, our chances of surviving are heightened when we're together.
Right. I am not an elephant. I am not a massive being.
Yeah. And even elephants are
they're
herd animals, you know? And then you have like, so then your body is kind of like, okay, we're going to start setting off some of these chemicals to let you know that something is wrong right now.
Depression.
You know? And so that's why we come along, the Alexander Ashton All Saints
All Saint.
cultivator
Listen, these guys,
star eaters.
these guys are way past me. I would feel guilty at some point of like trying to like, would you start a cult? Like, I'll try, but I'd feel guilty at some point when they were like, this guy's a genius. He makes everything. Like, you know what? I think it paid. Like, they probably start with like some actually like good intentions, and then like,
Of course they do. I think
when they get that a rush of like, this guy's the man. That's when it goes from like this. It's this egotistical, you know, like thing that happens to them. Like, oh, all these people have actually validated who I am as a person, and I need more of that validation. So I need to get more members, and with more members, I'll feel better about myself, because all these cult leaders usually came from some like disturbing background too. Like I saw some of these, like they like had a regular job, got fired, was told that he wasn't anything, and then he went out into the desert, took all his money, and bought a ranch and started manipulating people around the community. I'm like, damn, like that's a good portion of them. Like something happened to those guys, and then they sought comfort in others, and other people are like, oh yeah, well, you know, he has some good values. I'm gonna tell my sister about him, and then before you know it,
I think that because the people who do the like indoctrination process are usually just the followers.
Yeah,
that are like convinced because of their personal like experience with him.
You could be a cult leader.
Ooh,
you,
me?
Yeah, you could be a cult leader. You have it. You got it. You got the pizzazz to be a cult leader. You know,
listen,
we got the cachet.
We would garnish up this new reality for you.
Oh my goodness!
Listen, Alexander,
don't make me do it. Oh my God, I don't want to do it.
Ashton,
I don't want to do it.
Ashton.
He had to go, guys.
I'm a martyr now.
He had to go.
I'm a martyr.
But like, what's the other cult though? What's that? Jim Jones?
Oh, who?
Jim Jones?
Who?
Jim Jones?
Back then you didn't.
Don't mean that. That's Mike Jones. Okay, whatever.
Okay, but
yeah.
No, that's hands down one of the worst cult experiences to ever happen in the history of cult experiences. If that makes sense.
That makes sense. No, that was Jim Jones on some next level shit. Like,
yeah, and listen, if you don't know about Jim Jones, I suggest you go and watch a documentary on cults.
Yeah,
because he gonna pop up.
Yeah, we'll touch on it. But damn it, I can't uncover everything that's going on in that whole saga. That whole saga, like that is Jim Jones.
He is the reason why the word cult from like the 1960s went from like describing an unorthodox religion group to like having a connotation of this negative, horrifying, like if somebody call you a cult, you gonna like take it in a negative way. Like, what? I'm not part of the cult. Like,
yeah,
that whole idea
is
tell the people about the Jim Jones.
Yo,
cult.
so Jim Jones, what is Jim? He's just like a regular middle-aged dude.
I think he referred to himself as a minister.
Yeah, minister who believed that the world should be unified, and it was no black, white, blue, green. It was just like this multicultural clash of how the world should be. It should be one beautiful utopian place where every race can commingle and operate efficiently and properly. Within that, obviously, 60s, 70s, around that time frame, there's civil rights movement. So he had a great platform to swing from because everybody was already feeling the racial tension that was going on in the world at that time. And here comes Jim Jones, preaching the words of unification. So Jim Jones.
Yes, sir.
So he's preaching these words of unification. And it's this white figure, this white man, who's saying, all these damn black, white, should commingle type thing. You know what I'm saying? He has this great message. He's a charismatic guy. And, people started coming down on him. But he's already seen as to start a cult. Like, so let's go like through the timeline, fast forward so we can, get through it all. Because it's a lot to get through. But so people start coming down on him like, hey, Jim, hey, this shit, what you're doing is a cult. You got to stop this shit, man. Go shut this shit down. Now, Jim Jones, knowing that shit, he said, all right, I'm out. So he moved his whole damn group of his whole flock to damn a place in Guyana.
Guyana.
Yeah, so he moved everybody out.
They call it what? Jonestown.
Jonestown. He started a little ranch out there in Guyana called Jonestown, and he got everybody out there. Everybody's living this multicultural life. You look at the videos. I was like, damn, this is like a I don't know kind of church this is. It's like black, white people, happy as hell, swinging. I see old white ladies holding black babies.
Right, because traditionally you are used to like associating the word cults with white people, white middle-aged men.
Right. This is the first time I saw
an interracial group of people,
and there was a lot of like black people. Like I'm saying 50-50. I might say 50. I'm gonna say 50-50. Like what I saw, it was I was like, damn. I saw a lot of fros out there.
Black people was out there.
Yeah, they were out there.
And I'm gonna tell you why later.
Oh, okay. Well, well, what? No, tell me now.
All right. Well, you want me to take the story from there?
Take the story from there. All right. Jonestown, go.
Jonestown. We in Guyana, and long story short, this mofo is like, listen, if they won't let us live in peace, then we'll die in peace. Yeah,
he did say that. That's his famous line.
And what he did is, and he was really big into recording everything, right?
Yeah.
So what he did is he had his secretaries and mistresses go and start injecting cyanide into like the babies' mouths and stuff. And then people started seeing their kids die, and everybody had this sign. They had like made Kool-Aid. And that's how you know black people was there. Listen,
that's what you came for.
Listen, because they started dumping the cyanide in the Kool-Aid. In the Kool-Aid, bruh. Oh yeah. That's what the Reaper said when he came through.
Damn, you said the black people were there for the Kool-Aid,
killing 917.
900. No, it was almost 1,000. So it was like 970 something, like 973 or something.
I thought it was 7. I thought it was 917 people. But okay,
either way,
let's round up.
Let's say nearly 1,000.
Nearly 1,000 people.
People
had died.
Like just dropped dead. Boom. Yeah, like, in the middle of fields, like grass. Just
bruh, sad.
At first, I didn't know what I was looking at. I was like, "What the hell is all these damn little things? Oh, those are dead bodies."
Yeah, it's actually a really horrific imagery to intake. I suggest y'all go check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
It's very interesting.
Yeah,
but when I saw it, don't judge me. When I saw it though, the first thing that came to my mind, and listen, I cannot help this.
I'm judging you right now. You're being judged.
I was like, who is gonna clean all this up?
No, that's a fact though.
Like, listen, go check it out. And
you would think the same thing. I thought the same thing too.
If you ain't feel that way, like
damn.
Bodies on bodies, it's sad, and it's crazy to think that one man could have all this power. Who said that?
Kanye West. A prominent cult leader. No, he ain't no cult leader. Kanye's not a cult leader.
I mean, I don't think Kanye West is a cult leader. I think people try to make him though.
I think they make him look like that because he's like narcissistic individual who's like super about like thinking that he has like some ordained skill set that was given to him by God. Like, he's valid. He can feel that way if he wants to. He's never said anything to be like he thought he was. I don't know. I mean, Drake calls himself a god sometimes, so I don't know.
I mean, like, I definitely see that Kanye West has a lot of characteristics that, like, could be identified as, like, similar with cult.
Right.
Like, but I don't think he doesn't have no, like, crazy. He don't have no crazy indoctrination program. Like, he has a strong following, and I think following is.
He got an indoctrination program. $220 every other month. You can buy yourself some Yeezys. You wear them around. Let everybody know. I'm part of Team Kanye.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about But even we fast forward to now, there's like cult leaders today. Like this shit has not slowed down.
Not at all, man. I think when you think about like where cults are now, like it definitely like after Jim Jones, a whole bunch of stuff transitioned.
Yeah.
Like from there, like. Even the word cult, right? Like, scholars who like study this stuff had decided to change the word from cult to new religion movements, right? Or NRM. So like, if you type in like new religion movements, you would definitely like start to find all of the cult research that you need to. But they even want to move away from like this word that had like so much negative connotations attached to it.
Right.
And I mean, I think new religion movements is how you feel about that word, the name
cult is a cult. I don't like trying to, me personally, I'm not somebody who wants to suppress words. Like words have meanings and intrinsic values that I think that individuals, like, we cannot dumb down or push aside because of like the nature of the word. So Jim Jones happened, we call it a cult, and that's wrong. But I'm saying just because a cult today does not go to the same extent of like mass suicides or whatnot like that, there's still cults under the same guidelines that we started with. So if we're going to change the word to new religions, then like I feel like either one, we're downplaying what a cult is, or two, we're watering down what a religion can be. So like they're like, well, a religion doesn't have anything to do with God. It's just doing something repeatedly over and over again. Like you can do something religiously that doesn't have anything to do with God. I'm like, okay, but now we're just
semantics.
Yeah, we're playing semantics for the conversation so people can like have these arguments. I don't rock with new religions because I didn't rock with the old religion. So I don't know why we're gonna change the words for.
What about, do you rock with true religions? You see what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did there.
2 Chainz.
I never even owned a pair of true religions, to be honest, man. But you know, that's totally side note there.
Dang, you remember when 2 Chainz used to live by some damn true religions? I love 2 Chainz.
Yeah,
but
2 Chainz is a man. Shout out 2 Chainz.
True.
But yeah, no, I'm not rocking with the new term. What do you think? What do you think about the new term? I don't see it as a term that we should be using. New religion.
I think scholars have like their reason for deciding to change it. I think that
they're getting paid.
I think what you're saying is like kind of what the reason why they decided to change. Like if it goes back to like what the word cult meant. Like I remember growing up, when I first heard the word cult, I just thought it was a shortened word for culture, right? Like that's just like a simple like 1 + 1 = 2 type of ordeal. And then like when I think about the Latin, it's just like to cultivate. And then you think like it over time it developed a connotation that referred to new religion movements, right? Like that second definition where they're like, okay, anything that's a new, anything that's an unorthodox like version of a mainstream religion is a cult. So like I think they gave it a
but who's passing?
More.
But that's what I'm saying. Like who's passing that judgment as this is a new religion movement though? Like who's saying that? Because these leaders,
these are the scholars. Ooh.
Yeah, no, the scholars are saying something that the people who are a part of it are not even calling it, that's the part I have a problem with. Like, so say I'm a cult leader. Well, I'm not a cult leader. I'm a guy who just started a group of people who are like, we just meditate together and we just try and find like some balance in our life. I'm not calling it a cult. It's not a religion. This is just some guys. We're just getting together and we just gonna, vibe out. They're like, that's a new religion movement. Like,
but I think you just got to look into what the word religion mean though.
Right.
Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have necessarily anything to do with like a higher power, No,
it's just like, it's really just like belief and like worship, and usually some type of superpower or controlling power. And like we have the connotation that like often connects it with God of some sort. But I think like even to some extent, those are still have the attributes of definitely like a religion, because they still have some form of power that they worship and they believe in.
Yeah, but okay.
So it's new. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I would say that like so the old religions should be called cults and these new ones should be called new religions then.
Why? Why should
because the old ones have definitely killed people. They definitely killed millions. Millions of people have died because of these religions. And
okay, but now they just calling them both religions though.
Yeah, but we stopped calling the cults that because we stopped calling the new cults new religions because they didn't have no form of like this negative connotations of death and stuff like that. But the old religions definitely have connotations of death. So I'm saying, why we not call them cults instead? Why would you just switch it? We just call them the new religions. We just call them those religions, and then we'll call the religions we have now that have been here forever, call them cults.
I don't know. I think they the same.
Yeah, so we should all call them all cults. They all cults.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
And that's the show. No, I'm like,
Everything's a cult.
nah.
No, but
Okay, so how about this guy named Benton Ho Masiaro? He's this 30-year-old dude who lives in Holland, who has started a new religion. That's what we would say.
movement.
New religious movement and or cult. Yeah, so he has a belief that he can change the weather, and he said he's done it on several occasions.
What?
He has videos on his Instagram page of him moving pins and spinning shit with his power. He said he has telekinesis power. People come to his they pay guaps, like they pay like $900 to $1,200 to come to a retreat, and he has these things like 400 people there. They come to these retreats, and there's different sessions, like meditation session. There's a dancing session. There's a yoga session. There's a learn your neighbor session. Like he has all these different sessions that they go through, and they were doing interviews with people like, "Hey, do you feel like this is a cult?" He's like, and people were like, "I don't care if it is or isn't. It adds value to my life."
I was just about to say.
They don't care.
Based off of what you just told me, all I hear is advertising is one hell of a drug.
Oh,
boy.
before
and
for
like
sure.
when they say that the most powerful
Form of marketing
marketing is word of mouth.
Yeah,
That's all I hear. Like all I could think is like how could you get me to like buy in for $900 a dude that spin pins and like convince me. You couldn't convince me to buy in that way. But if you told me, bro, I just came from this lit ass retreat last week.
Yeah.
And that shit was lit. We was dancing. It was a good time, bro. I haven't felt this good in a long time, bro. Only $900. It's this dude, blase blase. He's cool. You know,
you can be hyped.
I believe you'll be hyped. I'll be like,
yeah.
shit. What's
I mean,
good?
they're luxury resorts.
Yeah.
They're like, drinking. Like they talking about doing coke and strippers and shit like that. Like he's trying to find all the positive and all the negative things that are going on. Like he doesn't have any. I think I was telling you the other day. He was like, yeah, if you run across somebody being raped, and then you find that rape to not be bad, are you going to then like change the way you believe, or are you going to continue to believe what society tells you that rape is bad? And it's like, what the hell is this man talking about?
Yeah, bro. I'm going to go with rape is bad because society says it, because I live in society. I don't know where the hell you live at.
Yeah, he lives in his own place. But he's 30 years old, and obviously he has all the signs of a cult, and he operates as a cult, and he gets paid. And I mean, he's getting paid. He doesn't even hide it. He's like, yeah, I mean, obviously I make money, I enjoy nice things. I buy expensive shit. Like, that's what it is. But I also add value to these people's lives. And they would say that he does. He says they do. Like, I'm not going to argue with him. Like, who am I to say that he doesn't? But it's a damn cult.
It's a damn cult.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And New Baptist Rancho Church in Dudley, North Carolina is a cult too. Shouts out to them.
Call it new religious movement, whatever you want to call it. But you even have Rastafarians, which is a cult in its own.
Oh yeah,
that is like against the traditional stereotype of like the demographic of a cult leader. Like it's not just white middle-aged men, and now you have like black men.
No.
And women.
Well,
like people.
Haile Selassie, which they would say is their reincarnated Jesus, emperor of Ethiopia at one time. He did not agree with that. He was like, that is not me. I am not him. They were like, but you are. He's like, nope, not me. I'm a Christian. Like Haile Selassie is a Christian. And they were like, no, you are the Messiah. You are Jesus Christ reincarnated. And they were like, nah. So that's like this interesting point where like someone has like denounced this idea of like, that's who I am. And people are still like, nope, that's who you are. I can see it. The resemblance, even though I've never seen the first one. I know it's you.
And I mean, hey, like you have like Seventh-day Adventists, but have been associated as a cult.
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, all of these organizations that like at some point you had like one person who like stepped aside and was like, listen, I'm gonna make a few changes. I'm gonna like make a certain way we should
all
do
this
this.
yeah.
And listen, people, follow me and follow my rules, and you gonna be good after.
That's how it always starts. That's how it always is, man. These guys are loony.
And so, hey, man. And so, what makes me think about it though is like, okay, so you have the transition. All right, I'm in a bad point in my life. You got the soft sell. We can make this better. You got we promise you a new reality. You got you will cultivate a amazing relationship with our leader or the power or whatever it is. And then you usually have the creation of like an external force, like something that they start deeming as like evil, right? Like they always have the opposite. Like I know for like religions, people be like, oh, the people who don't believe in us are of the devil, Satan,
right.
You know. And then you have like what, peer pressure. Your grandmother, hey boy, you better go up there and convert.
Yeah.
To get baptized. But the last one, which is like the last process of like indoctrination, is you usually always have to have a sociopathic narcissist.
Yeah, no, it's got to be, the leader definitely got to be that guy. And if he's not that guy, it's not going to last. It's not going to go far anyway, because you have to have somebody that's going to be able to speak fast on his toes when someone says something that refutes what they believe. Like, but what about this? And be like, yeah, Johnny, I hear what you're saying, but have you ever thought about that? And they're like, oh shit, I never thought about that. You got me.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be that guy. Or
because if they're not, then other people will be able to easily influence them,
right.
And it'll crumble, or it'll change too much, and it won't be as believable. And I think confidence is that's the biggest part.
What, the confident part?
Yeah, like as long as you're confident and you like honestly believe, bro, because people will believe anything and they'll believe it.
Yeah, if you give
like
it to them, if you give it to them in the right format, and you set it up right, and you put the right
garnish
on top of it.
Oh, okay, I see what you did right there, boy.
They will eat it up, boy. Because I mean, especially if you find them in a dark place, a hard place in time. That's just what it is. Like, and I mean, I see how, like I said, religion and or cults, I see how they can get flocks of people, because they always, like, people always go to religion when times are hard. Like me, okay, I'm not saying, like, I believe in the fact that like religion has like power over people.
Yeah.
And I believe that I don't think there's anything wrong with anything adding value to your life that you think makes your life better and that is going to help you be a more productive individual in society. I have no problem with that. Do I agree with it? No, I don't agree with it, but that's not for me to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to take someone away from their belief system. So that's one.
I think that's valid. I think because I know on my personal like ideals about it, I think like one of the best things that religions, all religions can kind of give people is hope, right? Like even if you're in that dark time and it has convinced you that you are part of a community that has like allowed you to experience some type of dopamine release or some type of acceptance or happiness, that's good.
Well, science has proven that like individuals who are like in the hospital or sickly, like who have an idea or belief system and hope that they could get better, like, not saying that they all turn around and have like 100% recovery, but a lot of them do recover, faster or better based on them believing that they could get better. Now, that's not to say that like if you do believe, you'll get better if you don't. But I mean, there's people who don't believe that. I mean, there's atheists that go to the hospital and be like, fuck it, it is what it is. And they come out walking fine. There's an atheist with the coronavirus who survived.
For sure.
And there's somebody who's from every religious group who has died. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So it's not the fact that the belief system or, I think it comes down to where you at in life and what you're trying to accomplish. Like,
what's your goal? And
where you go.
Yeah, and I think the negative part of a cult is like how far does that cult push you, into like what extent and for why?
Yeah.
Because I think like me personally, I think that morals is like, I think it's something that's kind of like invented.
Yeah, 100%.
But in that I think it's invented. I don't know if it's invented for like homeostasis purposes or if it's just,
it was, man. Everything that has lasted this long, I attribute to homeostasis. Like, even if it's not necessarily real or true, it has formed a way to help us in society, so we won't like we'll chop it up to homeostasis. So even we say like even if it's religion or whatever, like it's like this has kept millions of people like together and not shooting shit down.
And when you think of why cults like arise, like the one thing all cults have in common, or even religions, is they all arise during like times of like conflict,
right,
or like controversy. Like Jesus of Nazareth was probably the one of the messiahs who came along during the most, arguably the most controversial times, political and political times in the Middle East, right? Like, and you see where he ended up.
I mean, A1, you know, he's got top tier. You know what I'm saying?
Top tier all the way.
That's an A1 leader right there. You know?
Like, and people, and I know, like, I spent a lot of times in like hopping from different religions and learning and studying. Mm-hmm. And I know the one thing that like the Christians like always say though, they're like, you know, the one difference between like our Messiah and all the other Messiahs is that ours like died and was resurrected, right? Mm-hmm. So like that's their like point. Like you could go visit all the other Messiah's graves and like they'll be there, but you can't find Jesus of Nazareth. And so like that's their whole point. And I mean, I guess
if I take $1 out of your pocket and you don't know about it, I mean, if you go back and look for it and you don't find it, I mean, did it magically disappear? Did I take it?
Hey, listen, that's a whole nother
Yeah, all right.
Well, I'm not gonna get into that one.
Let me stop. Let me just stop.
You know, talking about controversial times, but like I think that's the core of it though. Like people need things to like keep them going. And for those who don't know what the word homeostasis is just the like state of like survival. Like your body and your cells are like always working to keep you at a state that is like surviving.
Your equilibrium. This place above water.
Balance.
Yeah. Where do you think cults are going though in the future? How do you think cults are going to be perceived in the future?
So considering we're living in the future now, but also like in the deep future.
Yeah, deep future, yeah.
I think we live in a time where social isolation is a pandemic. Mm-hmm. Epidemic. Like countries all over the world are talking about like how loneliness is striking more than ever before. Like,
right. But we don't know how to be happy by ourselves though. Like I feel like people who are in this place of like solitude and they are like, oh, it's destroying me. I don't think they really knew who they were before they got to this place. Like the pandemic has showed us so much about each other and people. Like if you're not happy right now, alone by yourself, or even with like close friends or just one or two people around you, like you don't know who you are yet. Because if you can't make yourself happy, it's no one else's job to make you happy other than yourself. People can contribute to your happiness, but you have to be the master of your own happiness.
Yeah, I think opportunities always show themselves, and it's not about like the opportunities being there. I think it's about having the ability and the vision to be able to spot the opportunities. Like if you can have everything, and usually people always have like everything they need and more, and they still not like feel validated, or they still struggle with the other demons. And not get me wrong, like there are some people who are like chemically like
well those
like
that's
defected. Like there are some people like no matter how much they wanted to be happy, they can't because their body is literally producing chemicals to make them depressed.
Have you ever seen The Great Gatsby?
Yeah, he
had a good line there. He said I have everything I want and I have nothing at all. Like that's where we are as people. Like you have everything. You can have everything, and if you're not like happy with who you are or what's going on, like you ain't got nothing.
And then you got some people on the flip side that
I ain't got nothing, but I'm happy as hell.
And why? Because they got hope. Like you got people who survived the Holocaust. You got people who died. Like you got people who died for wrong reasons that still went out in a smile. Like, so
every day above the ground is a good day to me.
Yeah.
So
that's
how I see it.
Listen, hey, if you not like chemically depressed or hurt, like, hey, but you struggling to like find a happiness, today is a great day to start smiling and searching for those reasons to be happy. You know, write down. it's an easy way to start off with just writing down something to keep you happy. But to answer your question,
oh yeah,
where cults,
yeah.
I think like we was talking about like social isolation.
Yeah.
And I think that the internet is like the cause. I think the internet will be the cause of why we need to create a cult, and I think it'll be the tool used to cultivate cults.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
well, it's already happening now.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
they're definitely all these cult leaders that I'm talking, these new age cult leaders or new age religion leaders. Mr. Maseraro, yeah, he strictly promotes through social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. He has followers everywhere. Like that's his way of getting out to people. And he like, I don't know if I was showing you, or even if I could find it again and I'll play it. Give me a second, you ugly mother. He has this thing where he's talking about social isolation and shit. And let me see, man. Does it even play? Maybe not. I don't know. I can't get it to play. But
my friends, thank you so much for all the beautiful, positive reactions to yesterday's session. I really appreciate all the shares and all the tags, and I'm actually really delighted that you guys are so happy to do this type of practice. And I'm just glad to see the ripple effects that it has. Thousands of people tuned in live, and many more have watched it since. And just feels really good to be able to offer this free of any kind of cost or anything like that. So yeah, just the participation has been awesome. And I'm looking forward to Wednesday. Looking forward to spending more time with you.
so that's him. He's outside talking. That's the wind blowing. But he has a meeting every Wednesday and Saturday online, and thousands of people tune in, and they go over there. Whatever they talk about. They talk about like vibrations and becoming more connected as a universe. And
okay, like kind of like some Hinduism
yeah,
type of
ordeal. Nothing but turtles on the way down.
Yep.
What?
Turtle.
What? But yeah. So
you got people like
he's already started that. Like he's already using the internet and social media to like ensure his cult following is going to be, like, you know, recognized and continues. But like we even use cult following. Like I've used cult following. Yo, that dude's got a cult following. Like I've used it in a good way. Like LeBron James has a cult following.
use it as the traditional way. Cultists.
No.
Not to cultivate.
But yeah, so that's why I think we're going with it. Like you said, I think we're going to the interwebs. Yeah, that's where I think we're going.
Yeah, man.
I think we're on the same page on that though.
But yeah, and I think if anything, I think it'll be less of like person to person, like soft selling. Like
Right.
it'll still be soft selling, but it'll be like through like media, like the medium of video or etc. And I think with algorithms today, algorithms will allow people to fall through, like allows people to fall through this rabbit hole of like radical, like-minded thinking,
Right.
like without having to be part of an actual group.
Right.
So like if you fall down, and it's like studies and stuff published out there, like if you watch one video that's like all for like this ideology of like being part of vibrations and following this guy named John, but then it might send you, it's gonna send you to another link that has like-minded people that's talking about the same thing, and you're just gonna continue to go.
I don't think, I would say this, and I mean, and this is, you know, I don't think that cults are necessarily bad. Okay. If, like I said, I'll say this and I'll say about religion too. Like, am I a religious person? No. But do I find that there are some like benefits in like individuals having like some collective groups that they can fall back on for hope and all that. So I think it's a good thing. Because we are like, you know, people who herd a pack people. So with that being said, if the cult, I just don't like when cults like take advantage of their flock, I guess.
Vulnerable people?
Yeah, I don't like that. Like if they're just like some people like I'm pretty sure there's are groups that are honestly like there's yoga groups or whatever, or just people who get together and try to help each other. The damn Alcohol Anonymous or whatever like that. Like those, that's a cult. You know what I'm saying? They get together, they discuss their problems and stuff like that.
It's a group. I don't know if they have like a psychopathic, narcissistic leader. but they have a group gathering. I think those characteristics are important. Do they have an indoctrination program?
Of course. You
Yeah,
gotta
in
be.
a
You
sense.
gotta be. You gotta be a alcoholic to get in. Like,
I mean, they have a few. They have the crossroad transitions. I don't know if they have the soft sell though. They usually have the
what
recommendation.
You don't think they have no soft selling? Like, come on, man. Listen, get your life back together. You know, better life together. AA could be for you. You know, like,
is that their motto?
that's their motto. AA could be for you. If you're going through something and you want to solve it with the bottle, I want to bring you in to a group of people who have already had that same problem. Listen, they got their 5-day coin, their 10-day coin. They got their 365 coin. They've been clean for a year now. And you can too. Their life is better. Come talk to these guys.
Who's their leader though?
Huh?
Who's their charismatic leader?
The person, whoever's running that little organization there, that little group.
I think it has to be like under one.
You think that'd be one dude?
unifying? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You're
But
right.
they
You're
do
right.
have a lot of
Characteristics. Well, I'm saying, but like a church, then a church isn't a cult. Then by that standard, they got a leader, but like it's just a group of people. I mean, like those mega churches maybe, but like these regular backwood Baptist churches, like
their charismatic leader would be Jesus of Nazareth though, or like their Messiah. Like they haven't met him, but that's who they worship.
Yikes. Okay. All right.
Muhammad would be for Islam.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
The list like continues. Buddha. Yeah. But kind of going off, I kind of agree. I think a pro can be hope. I think the con outweighs the pros though. I think that
oh yeah, no.
I think the ideology, and I think this would like, and I don't want to insult anybody, but this is just my personal beliefs.
Do it.
It's just like when it comes down to religion, it's either, and I used to think about it all the time as a kid.
Okay. I'm on the edge of my seat now.
Huh?
I'm on the edge of my seat now. I need to know. Okay.
I don't want you to be disappointed.
Okay, come on. Give it to me. Let's go. Let's hear it.
I think that one is like, if it is all real, I feel like it's either something, everything is either all fake or everything is like something is real. And it might all be connected. Like if there is a God, then okay, like all the religions will have some percentage of accuracy to an extent, right?
Right.
But if there is no God, then they are all false.
Yeah.
And that's it, like all false. They're all wrong.
Yeah.
And so I think where cults come into like the
bridge, that gray area,
this fallacy, or where they fall is like the ideology of infallible people or leaders. Like I don't believe that any human is infallible, period.
Right.
And I think that every cult, every religion has that, where they have somebody who's like infallible. Like they cannot make a mistake. They are like selfless. They are for
Kim Jong-un.
Hey, whoever. But yeah, I think I think when people use moral codes to manipulate people, I think that's trash. Like,
okay,
because again, I think if you think about it, like the fact that morals is subjective amongst cultures shows you that it's not objective.
It's not a thing.
And so if it's not objective, then it's an abstract idea which can be like manipulated at any time by anybody.
Facts.
And then I think the worst part though is constructed realities though that like destroy people. So like you have people who like, and I think it's sad. I don't think it's sad. I think people that are like fully in that are convicted into it are not sad. But I think if when the moment they realize that they not really convicted, it can be sad. And I think a person would not believing fully that the life they live in is, I think it's sad. Like I feel empathy for those people, because I think some people, if you could go your whole life, I think ignorance is bliss. That's what I'm really trying to say. Like,
and people love this, so we take pride in not knowing.
Yeah. So I think for example, if you are living like your life specifically, right, and you are like, okay, like I'm not allowed to eat pork. I'm not allowed to go out and dance on Saturdays. I'm not allowed to watch anything with magic. I'm not allowed to partake in anything of the world, right? And you are like convinced that this is the right way so you can live a better life. but that is like false. So you end up losing out on all these opportunities of life, which could be, it's all about perspective.
Nope. Don't even do it.
Okay.
Nope. It's not. This world is too big. There's too much to see. There's too much going on. There's too many great things to experience for somebody to be like, for somebody to even try to convince you that you don't need those things. Oh, you don't need those things. You just need the simple things in life. Like, all right, you're a loser. Don't listen to that person because they have shunned themselves and put themselves under this rock.
And I think that's one of the most, like,
you know what I'm saying?
I think that's the most.
The sunrise,
the
sunrise in Thailand definitely looks different than the sunrise in New York City. And if you don't believe me, you can see it for yourself. And I'm telling you, those experiences cannot be like swayed because someone says you don't need to do any of these things. You need to sit here and read this book. Like, all right, you keep your head in the book, but at some point in time, you have to realize the person who wrote that book was looking up at one point in time. Like, you can't have your head down forever.
So those are my biggest things, and I think those three things are like the main three reasons why people end up leaving cults when they do figure it out. Like, they realize, like, hold on, this dude not perfect, or this moral code don't work really. Yeah, people leave Scientology, people leave religion, people leave Christianity all the time. People convert over to Islam and then leave Islam. Like, it's just this cycle, like, you know, because they're all looking for something. They're looking for that answer. And once they don't get that answer, they're like, I got to go find the answer. But the answer will never be answered. Like, you just never going to get it. And once you realize that, you feel like you've wasted so much time. Like, damn. Like, yes. Like, I think that. But and that's where that ignorance is bliss comes in. Because, like, if you can, like, live your life and, like, make it from the starting point to the end point without having any of those things shattered, then you think your perspective is that you lived a happy, good life, right? Yeah. Like, what you don't know won't hurt you. Yeah. The saddest person on the earth is the person who knows the most. Like, facts. Because he's like, this shit is, y'all fuckers are living in la la land. Like, this shit is real out here. But yeah. That's all. That's all I got for you today. Hey, yo. That's cults. You know what I'm saying? As always, we always on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. Shut Up and Color Podcast, Instagram, you know, Shut Up and Color _, and Instagram, all the major streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify. That's us, you know. But I'm not no doctor, I'm not no lawyer, and I'm damn sure not no damn cult leader. That's the Shut Up and Color Podcast. Always informed, never influenced. And we out. We out.